everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel Fitness Freak Computer Geek. In the last lecture, we have seen about some coding example of break and continue statement, where I have shown you some theoretical concept break and continue statement. There I have given you some flow diagram as well as some theoretical concept, and I tried to explain it there about this statement. Okay, these are also come under control flow if you remember it. So in this lecture, I will show you some coding example of continue break statements. Okay, so if you remember, I have shown you usage of break statement in switch case block. So please refer to the lecture where I provided you the coding example of switch case, where you can see the how break work in a switch case block. Okay, in this lecture I will just focus only the coding example of loops where break statement play its role. Okay, and also I will show you what is the difference in using the continue and break statement in while and do while loop. So also I will show you difference of using continue statement in for loop and while loop. Okay, in the last lecture we have seen that there was one difference of using the continue in while and for loop. In while loop, if you use continue, then it will go back to the condition checking statement, and for loop, if you use continue, then it will go to the updation statement. So we will see the difference and how you can use the continue for best efficiency in while loop and for loop. Okay, we will see that now. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's begin. Let me just open my code block. So our code block has opened now. Let me create new file. So the shortcut of creating new file, Control Shift and N. Okay, and save using Control S. So save it in the if else folder itself. So save it as continue. Okay, so just first include the header files. Let me first show you the coding example of break statements. So what will we do? We will define here a loop. Okay, remember break play the same role in using while loop or do while loop or for loop. Okay, it will not create any difference. Okay, remember that point. Only continue do some difference. Okay, because of its control flow on different cases, which is conditional checking cases and updation case. Okay, what will we do here? Let us suppose that we want to take the input from the user and print the positive value what user have entered. Whenever a user entered negative value, we just come out of the loop and we will not print anything. Okay, so negative number usage as a loop termination here. Okay, from a sudden termination of loop. If you remember last I have told you that break play a sudden termination of loop. Okay, there is one way to terminate loop, which is when the condition in the loop itself become false, or one other way is to use break statement there. Okay, so let me take in 15 input from the user and let us just print the positive number. Whenever it entered a negative number, it will just come out of the loop. Okay, so let us do that. What we need a number, we need a variable for looping. So suppose for I equal to 0, I less than 15. Suppose we want to get input 15 number and I plus plus. Okay, whenever this until the condition is true, take the input from the user, printf, enter the number, save it on n, then what we'll do, we will just print a number every time with /n. Okay, so firstly just take the variable /n and value. Okay, so let me just run this loop without using the break statement. Okay, what will happen? stdio, again spelling mistake, stdio, always remember that I am making a mistake more than once. So now it will done, I guess. Okay, so let me enter one number printed, two number printed, 3 printed, 4 printed, 5 printed, 6 printed, 7 printed, 8 printed, 9 printed, 10, 12 something. Okay, so now you can see that all the 15 number are printed here, whatever the number we have entered. Okay, it is all printed. So now what do you want to do? Suppose if user by mistake print a negative number, let's use slash t here. Okay, let's see what happened if you use slash t, then the input here. Okay, you can see that using slash t what you can do here, we are getting the input in one side, and when we are out displaying the output in other side. Okay, so it is more convenient way, I guess. Okay, let me do that. So don't press enter like me. Okay, so you can see we have printed all the number. Okay, so it's using slash t making sense here. So suppose there is you will now understand it. Okay, the usage of break here. If n is less than 0, and what we'll do, we just break from this loop. Okay, break. Notice the color change. Okay, so save it and run it. So suppose you enter 1 first, then enter 2 first, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9. Suppose now user mistakenly entered -2. So what will happen? You can see that it stop printing the number, although the condition is true. That is what we have entered 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. We have now here I equal to 9 here, so 9 is less than 15, which is true condition here. But you can see that we are coming out of the condition here. Okay, itself whenever I entered this negative number. So what this to show, this should arbitrarily termination of loop, yet the condition remain true. Okay, so now you get it, the usage of break here. So it will work same in while loop. Okay, so you can do it for yourself. So you can see the difference here. We're directly coming out of loop, we are not printing this line. Okay, the control flow direct come from this there to there itself. Okay, so hope you are getting it. So now let's do the same thing. Let's create some different thing. Okay, so you can do it like calculate a sum of 15 number, you can also do that. So it will be more useful whenever I use the continue statement, we'll understand it more. So let me just erase this now. Let me just freshly create new. So let's define sum here also. So now we will see the usage of continue. So for I equal to 0, I less than 15, I plus plus. So do the same thing. Printf, take input from the user, enter the number. So let me store the number in n. Scanf. Okay, so now if n is less than 0, what we'll do, we'll use continue here. We'll just skip this statement. Continue basically use skip some of the statement. Continue some of the statement in the loops which we don't need in any case. Okay, so it will just skip that part. Okay, remember that break is used for termination and continue is used for skipping. So remember these things in a naive way. Okay, it will give you inside of these things. Okay, it are very naive thing, I can say that, but understanding, once you understand it, it will be very easy for you. But if you don't understand it clearly, then there might be some confusion in your mind and when to use continue and when to use break. Okay, so please clear a doubt here itself. Okay, so if you still after explaining this code, if you have any doubt, please ask me in the comment section. Okay, so now moving on. So if you use continue here, so what will it do? Let me see. Now printf the printf and do the sum plus equal to I. Okay, note that sum plus equal to n. Okay, sorry, don't calculate the I value. Okay, so what will it do? Let me show you, and let me just print the sum also after coming out of the loop. Total value of sum, it will also give the nested case here. Okay, sum d sum. Okay, let me run this, save this file and run it. So you can do, suppose I entered 12 and entered 23, 24, something. I'm entering random number. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12th number, 13th number. So you can see we have entered all the positive number here. Okay, here you can see that all the positive number. And now we are printing the sum here. Okay, so let's see what will happen if you run again, and suppose we entered the number as 12, 23, 34, 45 only, then we enter some negative number. So what will it do? So you can see that it is not terminating the loop, it just continue the loop again on skipping this number. You will find that at the end it will skip this number. Okay, it will only calculate a sum of positive number. Okay, so let me just enter the all values now. So you can see that. Okay, so you might not be getting this, or you might be confused that let me just you have to calculate this. Okay, so let me just reduce this number. So let's keep it to 5 here. Okay, you will now have clear idea now. So suppose I entered 12, 23, minus 3 and 1, 2. So you can see 37 here. Okay, we are getting wrong value. Why? Because I hope I haven't initialized this value, so it is giving garbage value, I guess. Let me just do it again. 1 enter 2 enter minus 3 enter 4 enter 5. So let me see, 5 for 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so now we are getting it 12 output here, and this is been skipped. This part is skipped. Whenever you enter the negative number, we skip that part and we do the calculation with remaining number. Okay, so what you can find this from here, that continue you used to just skip the statement. Okay, so it will not execute this statement after the continue, it just take the control back to the increment part and increment it, then calculate again. Okay, so what happen if we enter all the negative number, then sum must be 0. So let me see that. Minus 2 you will enter, get more inside here. After that minus 5, minus 6. So you can see that we are getting output as sum, means all this statement have been skipped. Okay, so hope you are getting it. It's very easy thing. Okay, so let me just show you how to use these things using while loop here. So what will you do here? So if you remember the syntax of while loop, so let me just bring this out and change it for to while. So you can see here how I am interchanging it very easily, and just also remove this part also, and we generally use at the end. So now you will see the difference here. Okay, while using while loop and do for loop. Suppose I entered 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, okay, 4 here, 5 here. So in this case nothing have changed here. Okay, all the value are calculated as same. It's work in the case of for loop. But whenever you enter the negative value, see what will happen then. 1 enter, 2 enter, 3 enter, okay, 4. Suppose we entered last value as negative number, negative 9. So what will it do? See that it is going continuously. Okay, if we entered again And you can see although the value of I have been exceed now 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 statement have printed, but I value was only 5. Okay, so you can see that it is going in infinite loop. So this is not the condition we want there. Okay, it's working different, working contrast to how it was working in for loop case. So you can see that it is behaving arbitrarily here. So it is just what it is doing, whenever user entered negative number, it just continue it and skip this part, means it is not executing these two statements, it is directly go to condition checking here. Okay, so you hope you now get the difference here. So how to curve this problem, don't use the increment part here, use the increment part before the usage of continuous statement, so you can use it here. Okay, so now let me do, now we will say that it will work fine. 1 enter, 2 entered, 3 enter, 4 enter. Okay, so suppose I enter -7 here. So you can see that now it's not following an infinite loop, it directly calculating sum of the remaining number excluding the negative number. Okay, so hope it is clear to you all. Okay, it's not a very big deal, you can practice more and more, you can use the same thing in the while loop and see the difference for yourself. Okay, so it's only depend on your logic. I have explained you here, which is more than sufficient to understand this continue and break statement. But if you have any doubt, if you want to analyze it more, you can do it in your own code. Okay, so just Google out some code and work in yourself. Also think about something else in your mind and do coding and apply those break and continue statement and see the difference there. Okay, so hope it is clear to you. This lecture is very easy one, and this is the last lecture on conditional flow. Okay, so now moving on. So hope you have get that what I have explained here. No, it is the last lecture in the control flow series. Now from the next lecture onward, I will discussing with you about introduction to function. Okay, you might be remember something about function, as I have shown you in the second lecture of my C programming course. There I have explained some concept of function. There I have given some analogy here. So now in the next lecture we will see in detail about function, and after that you will practice more code. Okay, so thanks for watching.